First of all, Usyk, I know a lot of people are going to be asking this question, so I'm going to answer it without you even asking it because I know it's out there. Forget about who he fights next. It's supposed to be a rematch. I'll tell you one thing. I can't believe that it's going to happen in October. After what these men have been through physically and emotionally, and not just in the normal realm of a great fight, big fight, but they were in basically 3 camps consecutively because the fight was supposed to happen once. It didn't happen. The Tyson Fury, something happened. He got hurt. Then he got cut. That was the second one. So they went through 3 camps. 3 camps away from their families. I doubt that in 5 months, whatever October is, right? I doubt that they can be physically and more importantly, emotionally ready to do this again. I can't believe it. That's what they're talking about. That's the date that's on the contract. But, contracts, only as good as the ink that is on the paper, and that ink can suddenly be crossed out or erased or whatever or changed. So I can't believe. But that's not the question that you people are asking. Where does Oleksandr Usyk fit now in the scheme of the greatest of all time? I'm going to tell you this. There's great ones, let's not forget. There's great ones in this great history of this great sport that's been around so long. There's a history of people like I said earlier, like Joe Louis and Jack Johnson and Rocky Marciano and Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. And it just, you could just go on and on. Larry Holmes, who was there, who I flew home with me, and my son flew home with him and his beautiful wife, Diane, and Tyrone, his brother-in-law. But, so you could go on and on. Usyk belongs on that list. He has put himself on that list as one of the greatest winners, period, of any generation. Period. Any weight class. Period. In the sport of boxing. He has earned the right to be on that list. And I want to give credit to Terence Crawford. He's a pretty quiet guy. He doesn't talk a lot. I think he's number 1 pound for pound. I have Inoue number 2 pound for pound. And Usyk was, up there. But I thought those were the guys. I have moved Usyk. ESPN people called me this morning and said, Teddy, do you want to update your pound-for-pound list? I said, yeah, I do. I feel like I have to. Any changes? Yeah, I have a change. What is it? I want Usyk number 1. And I got to give credit to Crawford, who I had number 1. Crawford, I didn't know this at the time. My son told me because I don't read the internet with all you crazy people out there, that do the internet stuff, that know how to read all that. I don't even know how to turn the thing on. If I want to see something, hey, I got to call my wife or could you turn this on? Could you look up something for me? Because I don't know how to do it. But my son said, Dad, Crawford came out today, I guess it was today or yesterday, and said that Usyk should be ahead of him, number 1. Wow, that is a classy move by Crawford. That is a classy thing to say. And I obviously I agree with him because that's what I did. I think he earned the right to be on the list of greatest of all time. One of the greatest winners of all time. And one of the greatest, I've said this before, to me great fighters are like voyagers. They're like people that go around the world and explore. They're like great explorers because they explore new areas. For all of us, where we can all kind of see that it's a new area, not only for them, but possibly for us to go. They're like what Usyk did and what these great fighters do when they do it. And Fury has done it. where he came back after being hit with that lightning bolt of a right hand by a great puncher in Wilder. A great right hand puncher. I mean, a really great right hand puncher. And he's laying there like he got shot by like an M16. And he's laying there, not moving. Then about 8, he gets up, and just and he went to another place. And because of getting up on that night is the reason why he was here the other night. Without making that choice to get up, he ain't there the other night. Because as I say, and a lot of people I know out there, when they do their talks and their motivational stuff, they use a lot of the things that I say. But I say all the time, we are about the choices we make in life. We don't think about it at the moment. We don't think about it at the moment, and sometimes we'll make a choice that later on maybe we wish we didn't make, but it's about the choices we make. We must always remember that choice that you make, that will stay with you and define you for the rest of your life. And he made a choice to get up. He could have easily made a choice to just lay there, to just stay there a little longer, and then, they would have said, you gave it a good try, whatever. But he made a choice to get up. And Usyk made a choice to go further. And when I talk about they're like are great discoverers, the people that go out there and discover new places. If that guy, you remember, you learned it in school, what was that guy's name? Columbus? If he doesn't keep sailing, we don't know that the earth is not flat. But he kept sailing. And then he comes back and says, hey, you could go further. We don't have to stop at that island over there. That probably now would probably have a Starbucks on it, right? But we don't have to stop over there. We can keep going. There's further to. That's what the great ones teach us. That's what Usyk taught us. Yeah, he gave hope to his country. That's the greatest thing in the world. But he also taught all of us that the world's not flat. You can keep going. Sometimes we forget in our own little domains, in our own little ways, we forget that the world's not flat. That we say, okay, that's as far as we could go. And whatever it is that we're doing, that's why. Because that's what someone else said, because that's what usually happens, because that's what they did, because that's what it feels like. Like that's enough. Who said it's enough? Who said it enough? These great discoverers would not have discovered those things if they said it was enough. They kept going. And to me, that is the greatest gift that Usyk gives us. All of us. And people like him. And Fury, like I said. You can go further. You can go further. You can always go further. And he reminds us of that. He teaches us that. The sport is better now because of the other night. The good news is we have one heavyweight champ of the world, and his name's not that hard to pronounce. Even Teddy Atlas might get it right. Usyk. 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 There's a power to that. There's a power to anybody who's been through what he went through and came out on the other side. The right side. There's a power. We can all feel that power.